And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or Guy?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, Guy.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is a year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the Cup."
Oh my goodness, there I go, and I hit the wrong damn button again. Well, aloha. Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the show that's all about you, the fan. And tonight, I mean that more than you'll ever know. This is a special show. So I know you guys are putting some comments in, but we're not going to do a lot of comments tonight, or we got to be really careful with the comments. And I need to say this right off the bat. This is a trigger warning. We are going to be talking about alcohol abuse and suicide in the military and 22 until none. This is a very deep subject, but it's one that we need to talk about. Tonight, I'm joined, if you remember, I wrote a pretty decent, what I think was a decent story about the St. Louis Blues Hockey Warriors. And I interviewed a Mr. Jason Perlasky, and he told me about an incident that had happened where one of the guys had a 1,000-yard stare and was ready to end it all, and how they got together and worked to save this guy. Well, that guy ended up reaching out to me by accident. Now, I reached out to him not knowing who he was, and he told me that he wanted to do this. So first, let me bring in Jason Perlarski. Hey, Jason, how you doing, sir?
Good evening. How you guys?
We're doing great. First of all, I got to say thank you so much for allowing us to do this tonight.
No problem.
Right? And now I want to bring in Mike. This is Mike Duncan. Mike, welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, what's up, man?
Mike, first I got to talk to you and say a very, very big thank you. I guess today's Armed Forces Day, and I didn't even know that. I'm seeing a couple of tags about that.
Saturday.
Yeah. All right, Saturday. That's right. They do it on Saturday, so they don't have to give us a day off.
Exactly.
Right. But first of all, Mike, I want to say this is very brave of you to be able to want to sit and come out and do this. So the way I'd like to do this is we're going to first talk about the program itself and how you guys each got involved in the program. Now, if I remember correctly, you guys didn't know each other until the program. Is that correct?
No.
Yeah, we never met.
Okay. So you guys are in the program. What team are you on, Mike?
I'm on the Charlie group for the Warriors.
And
Charlie
I'm also
team?
on the Charlie.
And you're on what? You're
I'm
also
on
part of Charlie?
also.
Okay, so you guys are both on Charlie. So when you guys started the program, did you start it about the same time, or was there
I started in late July.
late July?
I think you were just around the same time, weren't you, Mike?
Yeah, just about. Probably maybe the beginning of August.
Okay.
We came in about the same time.
Yeah,
So you guys come in the same time, and you got put on the same team. How did you develop your friendship?
I want to say more, I think on Winsville, going to the Wednesday night drop-in hockey was where I got to know Mike the most. Because at practice, we don't really get to interact socially a lot. But on the drop-in hockeys that we were doing on Wednesday nights is when I got to really get to know Mike.
Okay. So Mike, I guess when you come into, so I deal with some of the issues. I talk to you about what I deal with, right?
Right.
And when I go into a group like that, I always had this feeling of someone's going to find me out, right? Someone's going to find out what I am or what I'm going through and all that. So when I go into a group, I'm very closed off. I put on this face of this happy-go-lucky guy. When you first started the program, did you kind of do the same thing?
Yes and no. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Jason realized something. Because when I first started, I'm pretty outgoing. I get along with almost everybody. I can always find something in common with somebody. So, like, I just started making friends with everybody. Always out there having a good time. And then it wasn't really until I just started shutting off. Yeah.
I think there was a few times where he just kind of disappeared, and it was kind of like, just where'd Mike go?
Yeah,
he just gone.
Okay.
No goodbye or nothing. He just left, and I was like, hey, it's not like him. I've only known him 3 months, but
okay. So you guys are getting ready for a tournament at the time, right? You guys are getting ready for the Dallas tournament.
Yep.
So when I talked to you about this, Jason, when we first brought this up, you had a hard time, because I recorded it, holding back the emotion, right? Now you remember you gave me permission to record it. So you had a hard time holding back the emotion. So can you kind of talk us through that session, that session where things where you noticed something wrong or you were able to pull? Can you talk us through that a little bit?
I want to say, I think it was somewhere around the week that we first did the Enterprise skate. I think our first week. Am I not correct, Mike?
Yeah, probably.
Was it? I think it was our first. I think we were chatting one day, and things just didn't sound right. You know, the things that you were saying just wasn't sounding right to me. And in my head, because I've gone through a lot of the same stuff through my years, and it just threw up so many flags from. I've talked to him many times before that, and I just flat out said, is everything all right? And then I think he just said no, flat out no, I'm not doing good, and from there everything.
Okay, so let me take. I want to bring you. I want to go into your mind a little bit, Mike. So you're at this practice. You probably had to force yourself to even go. I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it was a pretty big deal. It was the first time we ever skated at the Blues Arena, at Enterprise Center. So
okay,
it was, an opportunity I definitely didn't want to miss.
Okay, so this is giving you a little bit of a bright spot in the darkness that you're walking through.
Oh, absolutely. That's pretty much what this team was at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so I can imagine you guys, and just think about this, everyone. These guys, they've been playing at Century. The Blues have been a big supporter of this program, and while the Blues were on away, or no, actually at this time, I don't know if hockey was playing yet, right?
No, they were away. I believe they were away.
They were away.
Yeah.
These guys, they're away. These guys get invited to have their practice in the Enterprise Center on the Blues ice, on professional ice. That's got to mean a lot. So here's somebody that's, and I know what it's like to walk in the darkness. I really do. And then to have something pop up that you're excited about, because it doesn't push it away, but it lessens it a little bit. Is that kind of how you felt, Mike?
Yeah, for real. I guess it gave you something to like look forward to.
Right. So you go into the United Center, you're smelling the ice, and there's nothing like smelling that ice.
Yeah.
You're down on the ice. You're talking to Jason, and he pops and I say pop the question, but he asks you the one question that every single vet hates to get asked.
Yeah.
Are you okay? What is actually going through your mind when he asks you that question?
I mean, I just kept, I was really tired of hiding it. It was going like a full-time job for real. Just pretending to be all right all the time. There was just a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of moving pieces. And I was trying to juggle everything, basically.
Yeah. So I've been there, man. I've been there. You can't live the double life anymore. You can't. You don't see why you're even trying to do it. You don't think anybody will understand what's going on with you, and you're really. Did you feel afraid to open up?
I don't think I was afraid. Most of it was being perceived as weak, really. I was trying to do everything on my own. I was trying to work, support the family. I go to school full time, play hockey. The son, he's in hockey. So there was no chill for me. It was always go, go, go. So for the longest time, I just ran with the punches and didn't want to be, perceived as weak, I guess. Like I couldn't handle it, couldn't do it.
Well, so you're dealing what you end up telling them all, and I hope I don't break the bound with this, but you end up telling everyone that you're dealing with alcoholism. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you tell everyone that you're an alcoholic, that you're just don't see a way out of anything. Correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So talk a little bit about before this, what led you to this? What part of the alcoholism, what part of things, some of the things that you can talk about that led you to this moment?
Yeah. It wasn't so much the alcoholism really as, I'm not saying I'm not alcoholic, but I think a majority of it, the alcohol was more of a Band-Aid to an underlying issue. And obviously, millions of vets deal with PTSD. And so there were some, events and stuff that took place when I was deployed. And basically it runs through your mind all day. And my biggest thing was I couldn't shut my brain off. Like I said, I was so busy. I was constantly going. And my mind's just always wandering. So alcohol was really a way for me to numb everything and shut everything out and slow down a little bit. So, it wasn't really until I got more help for the underlying issue, the PTSD, to where it started getting a lot easier. But at the time, my alcoholism was out of control. It was, I would celebrate small milestones of not drinking for a few days. So,
yeah. So, and just so you understand a little bit, for me, I had a moment where, that weekend I was delivering pizzas and the only thing that I was thinking about was right foot, right turn, putting my foot on the gas and making a right turn into a wall. I was home watching a Blues game that Sunday and I walked to the refrigerator and the only thought in my mind was I'm 170 feet away, from the 4th floor to the 22nd floor and then walking off. So for me, my body, when that thought hit me like it did, my body shut down and I basically collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew something was wrong with me. They didn't know what. So Jason, I want to go back to you now.
Okay.
So when you're asking him, I wrote in the article, the 1,000-yard stare. Is that what you saw out of him?
Yeah, I think I want to say I seen him. I think we did a open hockey, I think the night before Enterprise possibly. And I think I talked to you for a little bit and I think you were gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes in. And then the next day, I think I was texting him. And when I asked, are you okay? when I got, no, I was already letting our team chain of command know what was going on, what I was being told, just because I wanted Mike to get help.
Yeah.
I could sense something was going on, and this is not about me helping Mike. This is about the whole team helping Mike. Everybody on our team rallied around Mike, from the newest member of the team to the top board member. I think everybody really rallied around Mike. And I think if there's other people on the team struggling, they saw this situation, and hopefully they're not afraid to speak up because of seeing this situation unfold.
Yeah.
And the positives that happened. The positives that came out of it.
You told me in our interview that you guys stopped practice and everybody gathered around Mike. So Mike, I got to ask you this. Thinking that you're so worried about being perceived as weak, when they do that, what's going through your mind?
I don't know. I mean, I was just ready to get help.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so it really, I'm guessing at this point, your mind is completely numb, right? And because, and it's not that you're asking for help or getting help, it's because you don't know, your mind doesn't know where else to go. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, man. I was living like day by day, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So the rest of this story. So we're just at you would think him getting help, him just saying, I need help is the big part. It's not, it's what happens next. Right.
Yeah.
You have to understand.
For sure.
Yeah. So you have to understand where these guys are. It's 7, 8 o'clock at night, right? Around there.
Are you talking about right now?
No. When this happened, when this incident, when you found out about Mike needing help.
I think that was that was the day of Enterprise, because I think I texted him, and then if I remember right, our captain ended up driving you.
Yeah.
So I was in talk with our captain, and we wanted Mike to be with one of us when we went to Enterprise, because we didn't want him to drive by himself. We wanted him to have somebody to talk to on the way there. And he came down with our captain of our team.
Okay.
And stayed.
So this is going to practice. Is that correct?
This is actually going to Enterprise.
Okay. Going to Enterprise. Okay. So you goes to Enterprise, and you guys know what's going on. This team gathers around you, and
well, I think at that time it was only just a couple of us.
A couple of you?
I think it just might have been just a chain of command, and a couple of the people that I think know Mike real well knew. I don't think really Mike. I don't think the team really knew until Mike put it out a couple days later in chat, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Is that correct, Mike?
About
everything.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
It was a good, maybe the next week Mike came out and just laid it out on our team chat to the whole team about really what was going on.
And now, but when he tells you guys, this is when I talk, and guys, I want to let you know, I want to bring in one more veteran, if you don't mind. If you've seen the show, I have a co-host, Brock Banner. He was in the Army. He also deals with this stuff, and he was supposed to be part of this originally, but had something going on, but he's available now. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, sure. Fine.
Okay. Brock, I just wanted to make sure they were okay with it, right? This is Brock, Mike, and Jason. So what you told me, Jason, in the interview was that the team, that the chain of command gathered around. Beds are tight at this point. It's COVID. You have a hard time getting things. That this team gathers around Mike and finds him a treatment facility, a way to get there. I mean, and support, in just all support. Explain how that process worked a little bit. And I don't want you to go into, I know some of this is higher level, but I'm talking more what you saw, what you felt.
Well, I think that would be more of a Mike question, because at that point that Mike was dealing with all that, and we're there to support Mike,
Mhm.
but all the hands-on stuff was basically between Mike and the board.
Okay. Mike, are you okay answering that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think one of the biggest things was, Jason knows a lot of stuff too, but I got, a buddy down the street on the team, really good friend, V8, and he pretty much, him and Jason were communicating. Jason knew that he was pretty close to me, and basically our board got involved. So once our board got involved, I got a phone call from like a treatment center out in Columbia, and lo and behold, all of our members are disabled veterans. So we've got some veterans that work in different facilities. So one of them just happened to be down there and, talk to me and basically streamlined me to the front of the waiting list. And I got to get into treatment probably, I don't know, a week later. And I know the waiting list for that treatment center is still out until November, I believe. So it was awesome. They just went to bat, contacted somebody that they knew, and I was there.
Right. So I got to ask you, so from the practice to you going to the treatment center, I kind of was under the impression that you went to the treatment center that night, that they got you in one that night. I didn't realize it took a week.
No. It didn't take a week. So from the practice, I believe the practice was a Wednesday night, and I left for a treatment on Friday.
Okay, so 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. So in those 2 days, right, before you go to this treatment facility, and I know how, I haven't been to one, but for me, my treatment was going to group therapy, and I know from the time before I knew I was going to when I was going, I was shaking in my boots a lot. What's going through your mind a little bit during this period?
I don't know, man. I think the biggest thing was this has to work, and it was time to like put in the work, I guess, because being with alcoholism and stuff, it was my biggest thing for the longest time was, well, if I quit drinking, it's gonna solve all my problems, and that never happened. So alcohol and abuse treatment facilities, that's all fine and dandy. But it wasn't until I went to this facility where they really focused on the PTSD and the cognitive processing therapy, which I had been dealing with PTSD counselors and stuff for the last 4 or 5 years, and for me it was I thought it was a bunch of crap. How can somebody else tell me? Same old stuff that you're probably going to hear from a majority of veterans that have been there and done that. But it wasn't until I really found the right dude and basically applied it, and I needed it to work. It was do or die.
So Brock, I want to bring you in on this a little bit. So I'm not going to say you and me had a private conversation a couple days ago, and you opened up to me about your addiction a little bit. So you're going through some of the same things with PTSD and with addiction. What are some of the things? Are you relating to what Mike's talking about?
Oh, for sure. Number one, I want to thank you guys, number one, for coming on the show. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thanks.
I know it's just kind of a statement people make, but I really believe it, because a lot of things that we're dealing with today, the freedoms that we have are because of you guys and people like me and Guy, of all of us. So from my heart, I really mean that.
Internet again. Sorry about that. Yeah. Your internet got us again, Brock.
Sorry. All right. I want to try to do this real quick. So I definitely can understand. I have been clean from cocaine for about 5 years, and it's been something that had a real grip on me because I was dealing with some depression, dealing with a lot of issues that came out of my really out of my time in the military. Couldn't find a job, wasn't getting the opportunities I thought. Spent a lot of time in the military, wasn't really getting the opportunities I really thought I deserved. So really slipped into some depression, and again, I totally relate to it. But the thing that I always thank people is I thank God for someone who came in my life and just made a simple thing and just changed the whole thing around. I'm sure that's what happened with you. So it's just, I'm blessed by God that there's just some circumstances that happen that made me kind of change some things around. It doesn't always happen that way, though.
Yeah.
So for a lot
No,
of
right. So Jason, I'm going to come back to you a little bit now. During our interview, you and I didn't write about all of this, but you got really deep with me about what had gone through for you a couple of years earlier, right? How you had gotten to the point where you were ready to. And for those of you who don't know, when I talk about the 22, and I say that with, it's not reverence, but with respect, 22 veterans a day estimated commit suicide. And when we talk about the 22, that's who we're talking about. We're talking about those veterans who make that decision. And you're looking at 4 veterans who came very, very close to making that decision. And that's why we're doing this story today. This, and how hockey saved each one of us to bring us to a new level. Can you, Jason, go a little bit about what was going on with you and your depression and how you ended up and not only that, how that program really changed you physically?
Well, I ended up getting in the military before 9/11, and I actually graduated basic on 9/11, 2001. So that was already a pretty hectic way to start my military career. And then getting catapulted into Iraq day one of the war, and the invasion was like, man, I just came in for school, and now I'm on the front lines doing stuff that I never thought I'd be doing. And then getting literally dropped back in the United States, turn in your weapon, go 30 days leave. At that time, there was no PTSD. There was no PTSD treatment. There was no screening. You just left and you went back to normal life. And I struggled day one coming back to the United States because it was my whole brain was rewired in that year that I was in Iraq. And from that time, I had difficulty coping for many, many years. And I ended up doing some more deployments to Iraq. And then I was out of the Army in 2008. And then I really struggled. I stopped having close friends, mostly because I did not want people to know that I was struggling. I didn't have actually, I guess I'm a rarity. I didn't have really an alcohol problem, and I didn't have a drug problem. I was just very, I didn't
Introverted.
want people in. I didn't want people in my life, really. I didn't really want friendship from people. So I just kind of became a hermit in a way. And other than my kids, I mean, I was very close to my kids. And in 2010, around that time, I started getting treatment for PTSD. And then, of course, the VA gives you pills. And, the pills only do so much. Pills don't make you have friends. Pills don't make you want to be social. They just kind of make you go through your day. And then I just got to a point around 2014, 2015. Every time I woke up, I just felt like, why am I here? I got no friends. Yes, I had my kids. But, you start getting the blinders. Like you don't see anything outside anymore. You don't see what's important. I didn't have hockey. I didn't have anything I was doing anymore that I really loved. I was kind of stuck. One day I just said, this is the day. And it was like 2 a.m. and, I'm looking at my phone, nobody I could call. I had nobody I could call. I felt like I had nobody I could call.
Wow.
Nobody to talk to. And, that was supposed to be my ending there. And what I find interesting in all this, I had a Twitter account with 12 followers that night. And I knew if I put something on Facebook, people would see it and somebody would contact me and all this. And I did not want that. So I put my little goodbye on Twitter with my 12 followers at 2 a.m. Nobody's going to see that. I had a cousin that was in Colorado, just happened to be up, saw that tweet, and she was on the phone with the police with my geotag and trying to locate me.
Wow.
And that started the snowball of, basically saving my life.
Wow.
And then from there, then I started seeing all the people who really cared about me, and really having to put the work in. I had to, just like Mike, you have to put the work in.
Absolutely.
If you don't, you're just going to keep spiraling. And once I saw that people really did care about me and really did love me, and those blinders started going away, I got into rec therapy in the VA. I started doing softball. I started doing sled hockey. Before I started playing hockey, I was playing sled hockey, kayaking, just anything you can think of. I was trying to just fill that time, just trying to get that happiness back.
Hey, hold on a second. I want to address something here, guys. I apologize. So Chris Sockley said, put in this man. Chris, I want to make sure you're okay, buddy. For you guys, I know you guys know Chris, or you may know him. He joined the Hockey Warriors. He actually joined after I did the interview with you guys, with the board. He says, when everyone says stay for the kids, you're like, I'm doing it for my kids. I don't have to deal with the anger, depressed dad anymore. I just want to make sure you're okay, Chris. If you are, let me know. If not, send me a message right now, buddy. Okay. And I'm asking you, and again, let me do this again. We're about 30 minutes in. This is a trigger warning. We are talking about some very deep subjects here. We're talking about addiction. We're talking about suicide. We're talking about ways to get help too. And we're talking about how hockey helped in this. Just saying, okay, he's just saying how that rabbit hole goes. You just worried me a little, Chris, right?
Once you get your mindset, until somebody really stops you and says, are you okay? You don't stop and think. You just keep doing that spiral.
Yeah.
And it only takes that one person to really stop you to think about it,
Sure.
It's a weird commercial that they started a couple years ago. It's like, are you okay? It's two girls that sit on the couch.
Yeah.
And one's kind of staring off into the wall.
Yep.
The other one says, are you okay? That's all it takes. Nobody says that anymore. Nobody really wants to, two guys talking to each other, putting their hand on the other guy's shoulder and says, are you okay? You don't see that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But maybe we should.
Yeah. So one of my favorite songs is a song called War Paint by Madeline Merlo. And the first line of it is, it's okay to not be okay. In the military, we're not taught that.
Oh, yeah.
We're taught when you have a problem, you solve it. You solve it, period. It doesn't matter how you solve it, you solve it. And that's, where we're at. We have this problem of depression. We have this problem of addiction. We have this problem of our heads. So for me, I was in the Gulf War, the original Gulf War back in 1991, and spent about somewhere between 45 and 50 days in a minefield. I remembered, and I talked about it in that article, the night where I heard metal bouncing down the skin of the ship. And to this day, if I hear metal hit metal and I don't see it, I dive for cover. I am certain that an explosion is going to happen, and I continually have dreams about being on the ship and the ship's flooding and I'm trying to go up an escape trunk, which is the way out. And all these guys that I know who I felt tormented me in my career are looking down at me laughing, going, no, you stay there. You can do it. Solve the problem. So for me, that's really hard. Now, so we're in this, you go to treatment and like I went to treatment and I think Brock went to treatment and I know Jason got treatment and you start putting the work in. For me, and I think Mike, for me, I wanted to help someone else from getting to the point I got. And I saw at the Dallas, they posted a picture, said, get well, Mike Duncan. Right.
Yeah.
And because of that, I reached out to you thinking that I didn't know who you were. Right. And I reached out to you because, you know, I feel connected, even though I'm 4,300 miles away.
Yeah.
And you immediately knew who I was. And that, I got to tell you, it made me feel really special for about 5 minutes, you know, that here's this guy going through this treatment and going through all of these things that he's bringing up, all of these pains, and he's thinking about, you know, as soon as I contact him, he knows who I am, and he's happy to talk to me and say, yeah, hey, I'm that guy that had the 1,000-yard stare. That just hit me, and I wanted to say thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. So we're talking, and then you come up, and I want everyone to understand this. I did not ask Mike to do this. It never once breached my mind. Correct, Mike?
What's that?
For you to come on and do this. You asked me if you could come on and do it.
Yeah.
Right. Mike says, by the way, if you want to ever interview me once I'm out of treatment, I'd be glad to come on because I want to help people.
Mm.
That just struck me, Mike. It really did, because it just shows the power of the program that you guys are in. And I'm talking about the Warrior Hockey program.
Yeah. Hey,
Right?
Guy, can I
Yes, sir.
jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
Mike, you've been through this program. So what are you excited about? What's your future look like? Obviously, you got so many good things to look forward. Like, what are some things that you're holding on that you kind of got out there to keep you going, man?
There's a lot of stuff, really. I mean, the majority of the stuff that I enjoyed doing before I left, I just kind of lost all interest in stuff. So I guess I'd say the same thing as Jason was saying. I was a hermit. I didn't want to go do anything. I didn't even want to go down the street, you know. I just wanted to be alone. So hockey's always been the biggest thing. What I found enjoyment in. It's kind of like my time to get out there and, you know, work my butt off, sweat. The camaraderie from the team is amazing. It's kind of like a home away from home. So hockey was one of the biggest things that I missed. The gym, try not to get fat in there.
You brought all your hockey stuff.
I did, yeah.
He had his stick. He had his gloves.
Yeah.
I was.
I'm sure his room had many holes in the drywall.
Yeah.
I was shooting pucks up against the mattresses and stuff. So.
Wow.
They're asking if you guys know somebody named Gabriel Richardson.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then Aaron Shellhammer says the organization is a family.
Oh yeah, I love Shelly.
I need to attest to this.
Hi, Aaron.
Okay. Since I've been connected, every single warrior that I've talked to immediately has embraced me as part of your group. And it said, hey, you need anything when you get here, let us know. You can come skate with us. You can do all this. And I can't be an official member because you guys are maxed out, but I'm counted as an honorary member. And I tell you that I absolutely appreciate it beyond. So I want you guys to know. I got to ask Jason and Mike, has this brought you two, your friendship, even closer together?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. I mean, really for everybody, dude. So I think that's what's so great about this team is, and that's probably why everybody embraced you too, is because we're all fans, man. We've all been growing up watching the Blues. We all love the Blues. You know, we all bleed Blues. So when the opportunity came up to be, you know, and play hockey, like I had always wanted to play hockey as a kid, but that was out of the cards, man. I played football and baseball and stuff, but hockey was time consuming and it was expensive. And so I had this opportunity and I jumped on it, and I've never looked back. So you know, that's what the guys are on the team basically, is everybody's a fan, you know, so nobody's better than anybody. And every single person on that team would give you the shirt off their back. You know, we're all a huge family.
Yeah.
So, the more the merrier.
When I talked to Ryan and hey na na na, hey na na na, sorry, Steve, I had to do that. If you guys aren't doing that to him, I'm going to be mad. You guys should be doing that to him every time you see him. When I talked to those guys, I got to tell you, man, I was just so taken back with the friendliness and the willingness to handle these situations and to do this, on their own, on their free time and that. And it means a lot. This is, I know what you guys are going through, and it's really hard. And I've been I've actually worried myself sick today. I've been sick because I've been so worried about this show, about how it would come off. And I want to be respectful to you guys. I want you guys to talk to the veterans out there right now. And I want each one of you to do this. And I'm going to start with Jason and we'll go on. I want you to talk to the veterans that are watching this now, the veterans that could watch it on 22 Until None, and let them know how you feel about them and the 22 and how they can get help or find help if you're okay with that.
Well, the biggest thing that I should have done when I was going through the situation was talk to people. I just assumed I didn't want to be a burden on anybody because in my head, I'm like, I've been going through this for 10 years. It's 2013, 2014, and I've been dealing with this for 10 years. And at that point, it turns into, it's the same old Jason. He's just the same old guy, and you just kind of get that, I'm not going to tell anybody my problems anymore. I'm not going to be a burden on anybody. You just keep everything in. So the first thing I'd say is talk to somebody. Even if you don't think that they're going to be receptive, you might find out that they are. Also, I'm a big advocate on finding something you like to do. When I first started going through therapy, I found out that I really love photography. And Mike could tell you that I take 1 million photos. Mm-hmm. And the reason I do is because I used to just go and take a hike in the woods and have my camera, and I'd just take pictures of anything and everything. And that's just how my mind just kind of got into peace, just going on hikes and taking photos, taking photography in the wild. Now I do it at practice. I've been injured the past 9 weeks, and I've been just coming to practice and taking photos, just making it, I can't be on the ice, and now I'm back on the ice, but for 9 weeks, I was just going to practice, just taking photos of the guys, and just that's what I did. So I just say, find something you like, ask for help. It's not weak. I think not asking for help is even weaker than asking for help.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. So Mike, I'm going to let you go out now.
My biggest thing is, I hate to elaborate, I guess, on what Jason said, but dude, they're going to tell you communication, man. My thing, like I said, I just kind of shriveled up, was a hermit. I didn't talk to anybody, but also going through my head was that nobody cared about anything, but nobody knew what was going on. I was pretty good about hiding it from most people, except the people that I was closer to. VA just chimed in. He knew something was up because he deals with me every day. Jason, me and him were at drop-in every single Wednesday and every practice, and me and him communicated, a majority too. And there's, a handful of other people on the team that can't be forgotten. But the biggest thing is communication, man, because nobody's going to know anything. Now these days, everybody got their head in their phones. Nobody's like paying attention to everything that's going around. And I think with this, this organization, this family, is everybody's got each other's back because we all been through the same stuff. Whether you're a combat veteran or not, we all got the same gripes and complaints. So my biggest thing is communication, and surround yourself with people you love. Get a big support circle, and honesty. You got to be honest, because I'll tell you what, my my PTSD therapist, that guy knows things that I've never told anybody in the entire world, anybody. Mm-hmm. And still, he's the only person in the world that knows. So honesty. If you want help, you got to be honest. You got to open up.
Yeah. For me, Well, I'll let Brock go, and then I'll kind of bring my part into this.
Yeah,
Brock?
I mean, number one, I respect the hell out of you guys. I just do, for your comeback and for being here with us and opening up. So number one, that's the first thing. I just have tons of respect for you. Number two, the other day my son came up to me, 7 years old. He goes, "Hey, Dad, you know what I want to be when I grow up?" And I said, "No, you know what?" He goes, "I want to be an Army man like you." And like the whole thing came back to me. It's kind of like, that's why I did this. That's why I'm in it. I want to have an example for my son. I want to show my son about patriotism, about this country being something that matters. So that's what really motivates me. So if you're a veteran and you're in any sort of crisis, just know that there are people out there that love you, that care about you. You should never be afraid. Reach out of your comfort zone. Just if it's a guy at a bus stop, just say something to somebody. The world can't exist without you. And this is just my personal plea, because I've had people who I've missed dearly who succumbed to this, that I want this to end. And I want people to reach out and call me, call Guy, call anybody, because we need you and we want you around. Sorry to get all personal, but this is real personal for me, guys.
No, it is personal. I'm sitting here, I'm trying not to cry just from what Brock's talking, to be honest with you. For me, I never felt worthy of being a veteran. I never felt worthy of the guys that were on the ground. I never felt worthy that I'm considered one of them, as a combat vet. I never felt that my service was worth it. Sometimes I feel like I never served, because it weighs so heavy on me. And I've lost about 9 or 10 shipmates, from the Mobile Bay, the ship that I was on during the Gulf, who couldn't deal with this. And then I've lost a couple to cancer from being out there. And you sit there and you think to yourself, they were such a better person than me. Why am I still here? And I'm being honest. These are the thoughts. These are the things that went through my head that day in February. And guys, just let me tell you something. The strongest thing that you can ever do is ask for help. It's the one thing the military got wrong, telling us that you shouldn't ask for help, to make you weak. You're not weak asking for help. It's the strongest thing. Mike here needed to ask for help and thought he was weak. Yet now Mike's strong enough to come on and talk to you about a very personal moment that I'm sorry, man. Very personal moment that a lot of people would not come on and do. And Mike, I got to just say thank you so much. Right?
No problem, man. I appreciate it.
I know for me, Mike, I mean, it's only been a couple months for me. It took me maybe 2 years to talk about it in an open setting. Other than my now wife, she's really the only person that I really ever opened up to until I started kind of speaking more in public about it. So I admire Mike for coming out, a couple months after this. It took me a while, for whatever reason, but now, it's gotten easier over the time.
Yeah.
The more times I talk about it, it's gotten a little easier.
Yeah.
I also wanted to go off of what you just said. Also, you didn't feel worthy. And I just had this flash into my head. In around 2009, when I starting to struggle, I stopped acting like I was even in the military anymore. Like, I didn't go to military events. I just felt so detached because I felt ashamed. I felt, sometimes I felt, according to my therapist, I had almost survivor's guilt because, there was times that it should have been me in combat and it wasn't. And I struggled with that for many, many years. And I didn't go to ceremonies. It wasn't until after my attempt and I started getting back involved that I felt like I was worthy enough to be a veteran again.
Hey, Mike, Jason, sorry. Jason's wants to know if you're okay. Says you look pretty tense. I mean, I know sometimes you can get nervous on the camera, but you doing okay, bud?
Talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm great, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no. I mean, I get it. Sometimes this is hard. Now we've been talking about this.
Oh,
for
no.
50
I just have like a resting mad face.
Yeah.
No,
No. Yeah. What's they call it? The resting bitch face.
Yeah.
So we've been talking for 50 minutes about this. For the last 10 minutes, I want to talk about something maybe a little happier. Let's talk about the St. Louis Blues making the playoffs, right? I have an article coming out within the hour. I got to work with Brock, after you guys are done, me and him need to polish something up real quick, and then it's going to come out. Hopefully, everyone will read it, but let's talk about the Blues going against the Avalanche. How are you guys feeling about the Blues right now? Let's start with Brock.
Well, you know what? I've been a doubter since day one. So, of course, I'm doubting them going into the playoffs. I've seen this team, blow leads and be inconsistent. So I can only hope that they prove me wrong and give me a big old turd burger to eat, because I hope I'm wrong. But I just got to tell you, they just haven't been as consistent as I'd like them to be. But, again, hey, I'm a grouch, man.
Yep. What about you, Mike?
Oh, man, I'm pumped. So, see, I'm not going to give up on him. I wasn't giving up from the season. Half our team was out. Some of our top lines was out for injuries majority of the season. But even what we did last night, it didn't really matter. But this is playoff hockey. Like, it's time. I listen to a lot of podcasts too and stuff. And there's some guys out this way that were talking. This isn't over. The Blues got a lot of opportunity. I think we got a chance to run it. You never know. We've done it before, but we played sloppy a little bit through, this year.
Yeah.
But Craig Berube, he can light a fire under some people's asses. So I got confidence, man. I really do. I know we can beat the Avalanche. I know we can beat Vegas. They've been giving us a run this year, but we can beat every one of these teams.
I'm with you. Hey, Brock, you can tell him. Wait till he reads the article, right?
Yep.
I bring up some good points.
Yep.
Jason, what are you thinking, bud?
Well, if you go stalking my Facebook page, you'll see that I used to be an Avs fan when I lived in Colorado for many years.
We'll forgive you.
Though, when I went to a Blues Avs game, I wore the Blues jersey.
Yeah.
So all my kids grew up as Avs fans, so it's part of living in Colorado when they're young.
Yeah.
With that said, I like the Blues' chances starting off in round one versus the Avs versus Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I think the Blues can get through the Avs in 6. Going with 6. If they were playing Vegas, I think it would be a harder match, even though the Avs had the better record.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that if the Blues can get through the Avs, they would have that swagger going into the second round against, let's say, a Vegas.
Yeah, I kind of believe you on that one. I'm with you. I'm going to let everybody read what I think in the story, because I don't want to give too much away. So I'll actually get more than 30 views on a story. But so I got 2 last things for you, and these are Warrior related. First of all, I got to know what your experiences were at Military Appreciation Night. That had to be cool.
Oh yeah, man.
I go first.
yeah, it was super cool. That's what's so damn awesome about the Blues is because they don't. A lot of people that haven't, if you haven't been to a game recently, I don't know how recently they started doing it, but they, for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, they honor veterans like at every single game, home game in the third period. And I was one of those people. I was fortunate enough to be too, and they give you, a few front row tickets, a jersey, and do a big spiel about you and stuff. And the fact that they invited like the entire team, and it was just amazing. They gave every single person on our team 4 tickets. So we all took our families. Everybody got to get together. All the wives got to meet, all the girlfriends got to meet, all the boyfriends, and everybody. we just had a huge outing. We looked like a big mob in the middle of the.
No,
It doesn't
I
look
seen
like
the
there's that many
picture.
people there, and then we get together, and there's like, where'd all these
Yeah.
people come from?
Yeah. I seen that picture of you guys all on the steps there, you know,
Yeah.
where
Nick was
the
coordinating that.
you were coordinating that. You know, I
Yeah.
guess that's where they have like I can think the Budweiser post is right there. Is that kind of where you did it?
It's the beer garden area.
Yeah,
that
the
they
beer
do
garden
the
area.
music in between
Yeah.
periods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah,
stayed
I
that
seen
way.
that. It was that I mean, that was great. I gotta love it. And you guys got a tournament coming up. And Tracy, I gotta throw a shout out to Tracy Cochran.
Oh yeah,
She's trying to get you guys retro jerseys.
I know.
think it's
I
so
love the
cool.
idea. Tracy's awesome.
Yes, she is.
She's got
I've
a
had her
fun-
on the show. She came on a ladies' night. She's really a lot of fun. So everyone who's watching this later, go to GoFundMe, look for Blues retro jerseys or Warrior jerseys. You'll find it there. It's on my Facebook page. Get it out. You know, they're trying to raise 10 grand to get them all retro jerseys, and I think I love it. Oh, wait a minute, Mike. Put your arm up again. Put your arm up again. Yeah, there we go. You see that? That right there is what I need from everybody. Blues tattoos. I used to do tattoo of the game, and I want to get back to it. I want to have start having a page on my website that is Blues tattoos. So
Yeah.
if you got a Blues tattoo, send me an email with pictures of your tattoo, 2 or 3 pictures, and the story behind it,
Oh,
where
I
you got
think
it done, who did it, and all that. And I'll get it on the website. We'll get a thing going. We're going to get fan of the game back up. We're going to get pet of the game back up. We're going to be ready for next season. We're going to be as ready as the Blues and the Blues Warriors are for next season. I wish you guys all the luck up in Mini.
Oh yeah, we're
Right.
gonna kill it in Minnesota.
Yeah, we're going to kill it in Minnesota. Absolutely. And, you know, I'm going to keep going on. Says, Danny, you're getting a BlueNote tattoo.
Kill.
Looks like he's already got one.
Well, hey,
Uh,
hey, guy.
Yes,
Guy,
sir.
Let's hear it. Who you guys picking? Who's your 4 division winners, and who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Let's call it.
Yeah, okay. Start with Jason.
The bad thing is I really haven't followed much of what's going on outside our division.
Okay.
So
Well, who's going to take this division? We'll just go that. Who's going to take this division?
I mean, part of me wants to say the Blues, but I still think Vegas has probably the best odds. But you know, I'm wearing the blue note. I'm going to go with the Blues.
Okay. And Mike?
Oh, I'm not going with anybody but the Blues. But
Right.
I cheated. I pulled some up. So
Hey, I already got my first Blues tattoo sent to me.
really.
Drew Boyd. I don't know if he's one of your guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sent it to me already. He's got one like you on his arm there.
So
Actually, it looks
I
like
don't
exactly
have
the
no
same.
tattoos.
Boy,
I got no
Right? It
tattoos.
looks exactly the same. You and him get it done together there, Mike?
we didn't.
You didn't?
But I actually told him where to go. And
Okay.
He,
Because it looks exactly the same.
oh yeah.
Brock, so tomorrow we
You know
have
what would be
a
kind of cool? Just real quick, we ought to try to get a blues tattoo artist on and interview a blues tattoo artist.
yeah,
You
we
guys
would
could
love
help
to do
us out
that.
with the guy.
We should go to a Blackhawks tattoo artist and make him tattoo a Blues logo on somebody. And it's got
There you go. There you go. That's a good one. I just kind of lost. Oh, tomorrow we're going to do a draft preview, and the time is shifting left, right, and center.
No. Playoff preview.
Playoff preview. Pardon me. Playoff preview.
All right.
The time is shifting all over the place. Right now, at this moment, we're going to schedule it for 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It wasn't new. It wasn't. Pardon me. We're going to schedule it 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to move it an hour from where it originally was, so 1 or 2 more people can get on it. We're going to go for an hour. We're going to cover the West for a big part of it, and then we'll talk about the Central, the East, and the North a little bit. The North is weird. They're not starting their playoffs till the 20th when everyone else has already got 3 or 4 games in. So they're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit. The NHL has decided that all the games are going to play out. So you're going to have regular season games and postseason games going on at the exact same time. Right? I'm shaking my head at that. You got to give them credit. Guys, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. I hope I treated this with the reverence that it deserves and the respect that it deserves. And you guys are okay with how we handle this today. You know, I am an absolute supporter of you guys, and will do whatever it takes to help you guys get the word out or whatever. And I can't wait to come and see you and meet you and give you all a bear hug, man. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, hey, everyone. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, on a very special edition of the Blue Note Fan Report, saying if you are in trouble, if you need help, reach out. There are plenty of people to help you. I don't know the suicide hotline number, but they have a special number for veterans, or, you know, press 1, call the VA, call somebody, but get help, because we need you here to cheer for our Blues and your hockey fans. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying you got to know that I'm bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues, and I can't wait to see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha, mahalo, and in the words of the babe,
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.